Michael Tanner and Jemel Moody, folklore, rumor, or hidden figures. In many cities, local legends grow in the spaces where official records are silent and distrust of institutions runs high. In Buffalo, NY, one such tale concerns Michael Tanner and his counterpart, Jemel Moody. Rumors claim that Tanner is either an undercover FBI agent or a police officer, while Moody is said to move in the shadows as an undercover officer or even a federal informant. Their alleged exploits span horrifying narratives of trafficking, drug operations, gang associations, and dismantling federal operations. But what do we really know about these two figures, and how much of it is steeped in fact versus local folklore? The rise of a legend. For some Buffalo residents, the names Michael Tanner and Jemel Moody evoke images of secretive figures who command respect and fear from the criminal underworld. According to these tales, Tanner's presence on the streets suggests he is not merely another local cop or federal agent, but a shadow operative keeping tabs on illicit operations. Likewise, Moody is rumored to be involved in clandestine activities, sometimes portrayed as guiding criminal enterprises behind the scenes. Often, these narratives mix observations of real law enforcement challenges with hyperbolic claims of blood and slime, a graphic metaphor meant to highlight the perceived depth of corruption and vice in the city. The allure of such stories lies in their ambiguity. With vague details, contradictory reports, and a lack of confirmed documentation, the legend grows. In this urban myth, these two figures become symbols for a broader mistrust of authority and the inexplicable blending of heroic ideals with sinister undercurrents. Examining the claims. Are they law enforcement or something else? One of the central questions is whether Michael Tanner and Jemel Moody hold any official positions. Rumors allege Tanner might be an FBI agent or a member of the police force, a man working in plain sight, shrouded by the typical secrecy of undercover operations. Likewise, Moody is sometimes portrayed as an informant who acts as the eyes and ears for federal agencies within the community. In practice, credible sources and public records have not produced any verifiable evidence to confirm these roles. Law enforcement agencies maintain directories and personnel lists, and while the nature of undercover operations means some names remain undisclosed, there is little in the public domain that ties these specific names to official positions or verified criminal investigations in Buffalo. The absence of corroborated information suggests that if they exist, their stories are not part of the mainstream narrative provided by local authorities. Rumors of trafficking, gang ties, and criminal exploits. The more lurid aspects of the lore often cast these figures as central players in drug trafficking and gang operations. Accusations that range from dismantling federal operations to running extensive criminal crews. Such claims have been amplified by word of mouth, social media, and a general appetite for sensational stories in communities grappling with real struggles like drugs and organized crime. What's important to note is that Buffalo, like many urban centers, has experienced significant challenges related to drug trafficking and gang violence. Well-documented cases involving financial fraud and illicit drug rings have been reported by reputable news outlets. However, the particular association of Michael Tanner and Jemel Moody with these crimes tends to rely more on rumor than on factual investigative reporting. Often, stories develop with language as vivid as the devil and money scammers, merging kernel of truth observations with the fantastical, a common trait in urban legends. Separating folklore from documented fact. Urban legends do more than entertain. They express communal fears and hopes amid uncertainty. In the case of Tanner and Moody, the repeated circulation of their names in local lore may reflect a broader distrust of authority or a need for narratives that explain the city's ongoing struggles with crime. Yet, careful scrutiny reveals that much of what is known about them exists only in the realm of rumor. Independent investigations and official statements have yet to substantiate these flamboyant claims. Without solid evidence, such as corroborated records, documented investigations, or verified media reports, the true nature of these individuals remains elusive. The broader context of conspiracy in Buffalo. Buffalo has a rich tapestry of history and culture that often intermingles with its contemporary struggles. Conspiracy theories and local folklore frequently fill in the gaps left by official silence or by events that seem too complex to be explained by simple narratives. For many, figures like Michael Tanner and Jemel Moody become larger-than-life representations of institutional secretiveness and street-level resistance. What appears to be true is that, like many cities dealing with crime and corruption, Buffalo is a fertile ground for rumors. These stories may in part be a reaction to real issues, such as undercover operations that are necessarily secretive, and in part a fabrication that grows as it is retold in local circles. As with many urban legends, the truth lies somewhere in a murky middle ground, obscured by personal bias and the inherent allure of mystery. The need for cautious inquiry. While the stories of Michael Tanner and Jemel Moody captivate the imagination, with their mix of alleged federal intrigue and street lore, the verifiable facts about them remain sparse. Without documentation or confirmation from reliable sources, these tales continue to serve more as a reflection of community sentiment and cautionary folklore than as substantiated accounts of criminal masterminds or covert operatives. In a time when news travels fast and rumors can have serious consequences, it is essential to balance skepticism with a rigorous search for verification. For residents of Buffalo and those interested in understanding its hidden layers, the cautionary lesson is clear. Separate fact from fiction by relying on credible sources and maintaining a healthy skepticism toward narratives that seem to offer simple answers to complex issues.